Yeah, it's really, really frustrating. Speaking of frustrating, Lonnie, we haven't played a game in a while. This is a very quick game, and you've
Mhm.
always been really good at them.
That's
Um,
true.
well, no, I don't know if anybody's going to go back to check your record on it. So I'm going
Okay,
to
I
go
was
ahead and
great.
tell you. Yeah,
I was
she's
great.
100%. I don't think she's gotten any of these wrong. But
Mhm.
we talked last week a little bit about the black vote, and there was this perception that more black people are going to vote for Donald Trump. Well, Donald Trump was in a black church recently where Kellyanne Conway said 8,000 people.
Mhm.
Spoke to 8,000 people in a black church, and gosh, if you heard that, you would think, my goodness, a lot of black people showed up for Donald Trump in a church. That's concerning. I'm going to play a clip of him at the black church, Lana, and tell me if you can see, um, if you can guess or see in this clip what is just a little bit off at this black church. They're all chanting Trump, by the way. Look carefully. Do you want? I'm going to play it one more time because I don't know if you'd be able to tell, but I'm playing it one more time. I want to give you a chance to see if you can tell me, Lana, what is wrong with that black church.
There's no melanin.
Hmm.
Mm.
So, are you suggesting
It's melanin.
that there were no black people in the black church?
They're the ones he shipped in with the white people. So those weren't even members of the black church.
Just unbelievable. And this is what drives me crazy is that with absolutely no remorse and no think about it, no care in the
Don't care.
world, we are going to set up something in a black church, and we're
Mhm.
going to tell people, like
Yeah,
Kellyanne Conway says, that we spoke at a black church with 8,000 people there. First of all, that church doesn't even
yeah,
hold.
exactly.
I don't know if it holds 800.
It holds 300.
Oh, even better. So were there people outside maybe watching it on a screen
I
like
mean,
some people do at a sporting
8,000
event?
people? Like, what the, do we, come on. Like, Trump doesn't even get 8,000 MAGAs at his rallies.
It is just unbelievable how they just don't give a shit about what they say, how they
Yeah,
say it. It
he
does not
manufactures
matter.
everything, but he's the apprentice, right? Everything is a show. I mean, the thing about that is that this bishop or whatever he is has this backstory, but I'm not going to get into that. His congregation is pissed at him and want him to leave. They voted to get him out, but he won't leave. They don't want him. They didn't show up. They didn't want Trump, right? It's obvious that Trump probably made some deal with this guy, paid him, said you're going to be on Fox News because he was on Fox News, right? Touting Trump. Trump is sitting there. Well, he's not talking to the black people. He's talking to his own MAGA, fucking MAGA hats in a black church is just disrespectful as
Yeah.
wow. You wearing a MAGA hat in a church. I'm just baffled by that shit.
I
But
mean, it's my understanding. I'm not a church guy, but wearing a hat, period, in church is
yeah,
probably
but I'm
is.
saying like to have a MAGA, like a hat that has a freaking name and then a Make America Great hat in a goddamn church, and then Trump is sitting there talking about reading it now, how much he's under me, unemployment was at its lowest, and it's like, no, it wasn't, motherfucker. It's at its lowest right now under Biden, like right now.
Correct.
What are you
Yep.
talking about? Everyone's like, woo! And it's like,
Statistics for most minorities are better now than they were under Trump. But you guys, and Lana, I mean, I wouldn't even dare answer this question. So I'll ask you. I mean, what is it? Why would there be people in the black community that would support Trump? What is it they think that they're getting from supporting somebody who clearly does not have their best interest?
ask white women that, right?
Yeah.
It's always low hanging fruit. It's
Yeah,
not. It's
well,
not. You know what I mean?
I know why white people do it, and we've discussed it on this show many times. It's clear why white people do it, and it's because it satisfies this
I'm
I'm
talking about
better than the minor.
white women who
Well,
are getting their
because
reproduction.
yeah, I mean, first of all, there are white women that are racist. I mean, it
Yeah,
just, it
yeah,
just is, it's just, and, I think a lot of white women might be, in fact, I know a couple of white women who are very influenced by the man that they are with.
right,
So, and there are a lot of white women too that grew up in a family with a very demanding or sort of racist demanding father, and because of that, mom was in a way too, and so that's why I know why white people, and I know why white women, and it
right,
doesn't make sense. You're absolutely right. It makes no sense because they're voting against their own interest as well,
right.
unless some of these white women believe they are on some Christian march that they would never have this abortion anyway. So this does not affect me.
Right. Well, I think what Black people want, I don't think it's a lot of them. It really
Oh,
is.
clearly there
Yeah.
isn't. There's way more white women and white
Yeah.
people that would vote against their own
It's
interest.
low hanging fruit. Like, and it definitely is not a lot of Black women because it's like 95% of Black women or 98 vote for Biden.
Yep.
Black men are like the forgotten group. That they're just hard to reach. They're hard to reach in general because a lot of Black men weren't voting either.
Yeah.
So there's that piece. I think like these are the people that were like thought that Obama was going to go to their door with some type of reparations check or something like that. Like there's a group of people who think that they're supposed to benefit like just Black people, only Black people. Like Biden's not doing anything for Black people because they don't understand. It's like if things impact you disproportionately, when it gets fixed, it helps us the most because we had been like Wes Moore, for instance. Wes Moore has pardoned
Yes.
175,000 misdemeanor
The mayor of
Maryland.
Maryland. Yeah. Yeah. Of
Right.
Baltimore, isn't it?
Oh, is that?
Wasn't he a mayor?
No, he's the governor of Maryland.
Oh, governor. That's right. Sorry. Yes.
Oh, no. Okay. Yeah, the 175,000 pardons, right? Who is that going to impact the most? Black and brown people, because we're put in jail for that. And where did that stem from? Biden, because they changed the schedule of weed from class 1
Yeah.
with heroin to
Yes.
class 3. So that, because remember, Biden said, maybe last year something, he was urging governors when different states started legalizing marijuana, now please start pardoning these people with these misdemeanor. He urged them to do that. The Republican governor said absolutely not. Who does Abbott pardon?
Right. Yeah. The guy who killed
Murderer.
yeah.
But he couldn't pardon the weed misdemeanors, but we're going to pardon a murderer. Like,
Yeah.
what is that? So that's what I think. They don't get that piece, how Obama made it so like, when you go for a job on the application, they couldn't really ask you certain things about your criminal past. Like he did all of these things. Biden has made it easier for Black people to get loans and be entrepreneurs. There's more entrepreneurs than it's ever been under Biden. There's a lot under Obama, but even more under Biden. And they don't understand that right now, Donald Trump and the Republicans are getting rid of grants for Black people.
Yeah.
The Black women, that grant specifically is being fought in Florida right now that goes to Black women businesses because conservatives sued and said it's the Civil Rights Act, where they used the Civil Rights Act and said you're discriminating against us. Black women get 0.1% of grants.
Right.
White men get 90.
Yeah.
But they're like, nope, you can't get a special one.
Yeah.
That's got to be open to us too.
Yeah, and again, it goes back to where just, so many people don't understand what they're voting for, what they're voting against. They just don't get it. And it's just kind of a shame. And Biden is doing things it's not just the Black community, it's for all communities, but it could affect, a lot of people in the Black community where, we're going to wipe out all the medical stuff off your credit, so that way it's not affecting your credit anymore. Yeah,
because we have the highest levels of diabetes and hypertension in the Black community. That's going to help us the most. The capped insulin helps our community.
Yeah. And again, I think, I've said it a million times that I do kind of get irritated when they say that the Democrats don't have good messaging. I think they have good messaging. The problem is that we have a media that's boring. So they don't want to get into that. They want to get into what the fuck Donald Trump said. And I know we talk about Donald Trump on this show a lot. So we get sucked into it and we do the same thing, but we're not doing this for any kind of money. I think it's important that, because Lana and I have talked about this before, is that there is this idea that people forgot about how bad Donald Trump was 4 years ago. So people need to continue to be reminded. But the problem is that a lot of I was saying, even the mainstream media and the right-wing propaganda media doesn't always point out how bad Donald Trump was. They want to play a both sides thing.
Right. We can't. And that's why I think the media that we can depend on is calling on everyone, like activists, anyone, people like us, to make these short little videos, calling out what Donald Trump has done, calling out the good things that Biden is doing, even if it's like 5 minutes. Pop the thing on TikTok. I was talking to a guy that works, young guy. He's there at my job for the summer at my firm. And he was talking about the Biden walking off to the side, whatever, because he was asking me if I saw the video, because we were talking about the shark battery Trump. And I said, yeah, I saw that. I said, but did you see the full video? Because I was very concerned about if you only saw the one side. And he had seen the full video on TikTok. Right. So that gave me a good feeling. I'm like, okay. So that's breaking through. People actually are seeing the full video now and just not, Biden looking confused. Like, no, he was talking to someone. So yeah, I'm happy about that.
I think the problem is when even some of the people that see the full video, is that they've already made up their mind that he wandered off and he's an old man. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter what the other videos show.
This is the fake.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Like, they just widen it to make it look like he didn't wander off. Like, boy. So hey, yeah.